Hello. This is known as TinyHandsTarot. I am just do this every day on Facebook, and I decided to bring it to YouTube. I thought that this would be a better place to reach even more people, a more global community. And basically what I do is I read tarot and oracle for the collective. I'd like to do this every morning and get into a rhythm again with it. I love it. I combine it with my studies in psychology and social work, so I bring a mental health aspect and coaching aspect to it as well. I believe that we come across these readings when the time is right. Also, time is an illusion, so take what you can, leave the rest. You may find that the message is for you right now, or you may find for someone very close to you whose energy you share, or you may find that the message resonates for you a week from now. You never know. Things are fluid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to intuitively select some decks to work with today. I should probably start doing that before I do the lives, but I was just so excited and I hopped right on. So yeah, feel free to say hi if you like, and we'll see what reading we have for the collective today. I'm gonna move that over here and grab this one and this one. All right. Excellent. So we're gonna jump right in. I'll just move you back a little bit. There's a lot of stuff going on the desk here. The breakfast, the coffee, the tarot decks. All right. So today I'm going to be using, so I have a lot of different decks. I've got, I think, 40 different tarot and oracle decks. I'm definitely a collector. But today we're going to be using the Doreen Virtue and Angels. I didn't really grow up with them as a concept that was really on my radar in terms of spirituality. But my internet's not super stable, sorry. But I really like this deck. I find it to be super accurate for me and for the people that I read for. It's also quite fun and psychedelic, so we're going to use that today. And we're on a bit of a Doreen Virtue vibe. We're also going to use this one here, the Healing with the Angels Oracle cards, another one that I just picked up recently. She is now, I guess she's a born-again Christian, so she was a spiritual leader for a long time, and she produced a lot of decks but isn't doing them anymore. So it turns out that these are actually quite the collector's items. So I have a lot of her decks, which is pretty cool. So we're just going to take a minute to draw chakra on the third eye. We just ask Spirit to deliver the best and most potent messages that the collective needs to hear today as we walk our own unique path towards our personal version of enlightenment. All right, so let's see what comes through. I'm hearing 5 shuffles. That's what we're going to do. Kitty cat under my desk. What am I at now? 4? I don't know. So what do we need to know today? Yeah. I always like to take the jumpers. It's like they're the most enthusiastic messages coming through. Yes, hello. Yeah. Ooh, oh my gosh, is this ever resonant? Holy cow. I'm going to just get a couple more cards and then I'm going to show you what I've got. Ooh, they're just flying out today. Had coffee. Oh my gosh. Let me know if you are also sitting at home drinking your coffee and having your breakfast. All right, we're going to start with that and then we'll see what else comes through. So the first card that we have today is Major Arcana number 8, the Justice card. Sorry, it's a little shiny and bright there. So if you know the tarot already, you know what this means, but essentially, sorry, kitty cat's making noise. It says Archangel Raguel. Again, I don't know my angels that well. Decisions, do what you know is right, stand up for your beliefs. So the Justice card really speaks to karma is cause and effect, right? Some of us do believe that karma lasts, and I do believe that to be true. I definitely do. It's interesting. All of these things that are coming through right now are so potent. I learned a lesson this morning that was a very challenging one for me. Justice was sometimes karma isn't necessarily about the actions that we take. It can be inaction. So when you don't move fast enough, when you don't commit to something, the lesson that has been coming over and over again this year for so many people in my life, myself included, is commitment. What are you committed to? What are you willing to suffer for? What are you willing to work for? That is the question. And justice, the energy of justice is about that balancing of what have you put in, what have you not put in, and what is the result because of it. It's basically just taking a moment to reflect on your life and check in and say, all right, well, where have I been putting in the work, and am I satisfied with the result? Am I satisfied with the things that I'm getting out of all of this? Have I learned anything? Am I walking my talk? This is one of the most challenging lessons ever. So that's what the Justice card is all about. 10 of Water came out with it as well. So the 10 of Water is the 10 of Cups. It is contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met, trustworthy relationships. So the thing about this, the Justice card and the 10 of Cups is emotional satisfaction, complete. It's your wish fulfillment in a way. So that is either happening for you, it's coming through, and you're recognizing, like, I did put in the work and I'm reaping the rewards. Or you may be finding that what you need to do is start to step into that energy and start to step into that powerful commitment, deciding who you are and what it is that you stand for, and moving towards it with grace and integrity, because that's where your emotional fulfillment is going to come through. If you haven't been very happy for quite some time, you do need to take a moment to reflect on, why are you feeling that way? Does it have something to do with things that are going on, an internal thing? I had a vision a few years ago when my whole life was falling apart. I was having my tower moment after tower moment. Everything just fell apart. Everything that I thought I knew about myself and the world just crumbled because of the external situation. And I ended up taking myself to a spiritual school where, for the first time in my life, I was really committing to a yoga practice, and I was learning about spirituality. And the amazing thing about being there is, when I was in a deep meditation, I had a vision, which I'd never had visions before. Well, that's not true. I've had visions, but I didn't really identify them as such. I just thought I was imagining certain things. And the vision was of the Merkaba star. And the Merkaba star is sacred geometry, and it is triangles intersecting in three dimensions. And it represents as above, so below, as within, so without. And it's the law of the universe, this hermetic principle that says, when we change what's going on the inside, our mental state, our embodiment, our mood, our energy, and we shift that into what we would like it to be more often, even if it's not necessarily our normal or natural state, because we've been stuck in anxiety or depression or whatever it is, the story, for a really long time. When we start to shift through our awareness and synchronicity, where we were at in terms of our own internal story and positive, hopeful, and we make space for the bigger emotions, but we allow ourselves to move through them rather than getting stuck. Trust me, this is a big lesson. So the amazing thing about Justice and the 10 of Water, 10 of Cups, is that your emotional fulfillment will come from you integrating this concept of the law of cause and effect, karma, understanding karma, and wow, I just saw 11:11 on the clock when I said the word karma. It's about embodying what it is you actually want to be, and look to your roles. Don't put people on pedestals anymore, because that's not particularly helpful. It keeps you disempowered, but start to align yourself with the people that experience all around you. We have the Knight of Fire. This is absolutely the energy today. I don't know if the full moon was last night or if it's tonight. I have to check. But there was a very, very bright moon recently, and it kept me up. I was up till like 5 a.m. one night and then 2 a.m. the next night. It was just so vibrant, this energy. And the Knight of Fire, you've already woken up, but what you haven't done is embodied. So you're on the edge. You're so close to the embodiment, and there's a feeling of restlessness in terms of, okay, I've woken up, I see it. How do I integrate it? How do I become that person that I want to be? How do I maintain it if I've never maintained it before? How do I build self-trust if every time I interact with this concept of karma, I'm not getting the results that I want? Karma can be things that we carry from this lifetime, it can be from past lifetimes, and it can be, if I imagine it, then it can manifest. And it's true, it can, but that's in your conscious mind. And how many times have you had like a conscious intention and you've even spoken out loud, I'm going to do this? And then, for example, I'm going to go to the gym every day for a whole year. Sometimes, and they take a lot of commitment. It's not just your mind. Your nervous system has so much control, anxiety that prevented you from interacting with people that you really wanted to interact with, or asking that person out on a date. Or if you've gone through a crippling bout of depression where your body just felt like lead and you couldn't get up. Hey, Leisha. Hey, Queen. My live is messing up. My internet connection isn't very strong. Uh-oh. Hopefully I can fix that. I'm going to keep going for now, but I'm going to try and fix the internet situation soon. So this law of attraction thing, it is also controlled by our unconscious motivation. So you may want something in your conscious realm and you speak it out loud and you say, I want this. I want this so badly, or I'm going to do this. But your nervous system is trying to keep you safe. It's controlled by your primal brain, which all it wants to do is promote your survival. Well, your survival brain is going to go into overdrive if what you're aiming to do, for example, is public speaking. That feels like a threat to your survival because it's foreign. So you may say you want the speaking gig, but then you end up sabotaging it, or you end up not showing up, or somehow energetically, you get the call and they say, oh, we've gone with somebody else. That is both a karmic lesson and its law of attraction based off of your energy, which is controlled not just by your consciousness, but your unconscious realm. So Carl Jung, this very, very famous psychologist or psychiatrist, he started out within this science realm, and then by the end of his life, he was a total mystic, because he started to tap into this understanding that, until we make our unconscious conscious, we will let it control our life and we will call it fate, right? So that's the lesson of karma. Anyways, I'm rambling now, but there's the energy now of the Knight of Fire, and knights are not as immature as the page energy. It's a little bit more mature. You do have the knowledge, but it's not fully embodied and fully integrated. So it says a sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence, thinking things through carefully. So it's tricky when time is of the essence to think things through carefully, but ultimately there's the desire to move forward in a big way. And there's also this need in this moment for us to think about, which direction do we really want to be going in? What is it that we want to commit to? That is super important right now. This is followed by The 5 in the major arcana, which is the Hierophant. In this, it says Unity, Archangel Sandalphon. I don't know. It's pretty trippy and psychedelic, this deck here. But traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So depending on which direction it is you want to go, you need to surround yourself with those people who are going to promote that energy and vibration in you. That might mean separating yourself from the folks that you've been around for a really long time. It may mean that you need to put yourself into a new environment. You need to get yourself to a mastermind group. You need to get yourself a new friend group. You know, maybe the people that you've been around for a really long time, as much as they love you, they're having trouble letting you change because they're not used to seeing you change and be in a different energy. These are all things that we have to consider. And how do we lovingly navigate shifting ourselves into that new environment with new people while still loving the people that we are shifting away from in terms of how much time we invest in those folks? You know, you don't have to do the thing. I don't like cancel culture. I'm not this big fan of being like, I'm leveling up, and therefore you cut everyone else out of your life that you've ever interacted with because they don't know the new you. It's like, no, invite them into the new embodiment, but do maintain energetic boundaries, right? So that's what this is about. It's also Hierophant energy, which is technically in numerology the 5, which is conflict and chaos. There's a possibility that shifting into the new embodiment is bringing up feelings of chaos within you, or conflict within relationships, or internal conflict. So just be aware that that could be a part of the energy that's getting mixed in with it. Then we have the King of Air. The King of Air, brilliant, impartial, professional, diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice. Balance mental and emotional considerations. So it is, again, tied up with that idea of mentorship, finding the right mentor, figuring out what you want to move towards, and then find the people who embody that and surround yourself with them. This could represent an actual mentor for you, but it could also just represent you choosing to embody this new decisive energy, this new you, this new self, and showing up and speaking your mind. So maybe you want to start a tarot channel. Maybe you want to start teaching and facilitating. What do you want to do, and how are you going to do it? That's the consideration right now with the Knight of Air. So this can represent the person coming into your life, or this can represent you choosing to, King, which is the most mature of all of the monarchs within, each suit. Are you going to be the one that speaks your mind? And if so, where are you going to do it? What's your platform? Are you a YouTuber? Are you a Facebooker? Are you an Instagrammer? I certainly know a lot about social media, but I know that it's time to learn because that's the way the world is going. So, 5 of Fire, competing goals, bothersome deals, conflicting with others. Yeah. So this is about getting straight on what it is that you believe in and what your message is, and then starting to take steps within that direction, because there's a push-pull thing that's happening right now of trying to move in 2 different directions and having not been able to integrate a certain direction, but you're not necessarily committed to it. So this is very important. There's the internal conflict card. I don't know if I can actually swear on YouTube, so I won't, but what rhymes with itty bitty? The itty bitty committee. It's that jumble of voices in your own head and in your own psyche that's at war with each other constantly. Hey, it's Precious. So I'm actually doing a reading for the collective right now. So you're a part of the collective. But if you want your own reading, you can reach out and book with me. So this card is speaking to the internal conflict about like an identity crisis, because you've actually grown, but you've been in this other self, this other consciousness for so long that it's really challenging. You're welcome. It's really challenging to step into the, it's brand new, and that's going to be terrifying to your psyche and to your nervous system. So be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, understand that it's a process. How exciting is it that you're waking up? I think that's really great. So I'm going to leave it at that with the tarot cards, but let's hop into Oracle really quickly. We're going to use Healing with the Angels by Doreen Virtue. I'm sorry if the internet is a little choppy. I'm kind of far from the main house where my family is, but hoping to get that fixed up. I heard 3 shuffles. What message does the collective need right now? Ideas and inspiration. Yeah. So ideas and inspiration. It's like today is a day where the downloads are happening. You're having so much coming through. And that's amazing. That's so great. And at the same time, it does need to have a practical plan and be grounded into reality so that you can actually move towards the vision that you're having. So maybe today is a visionary day, whereas maybe tomorrow is the what's my practical plan day. And it's important to recognize that a part of creating your practical plan is this, the unity or the Hierophant energy, which is like structure. It doesn't have to be traditional. The professional aspect where you're seeking out advice from more experienced than you and who do believe in what it is that you want to achieve. And it's about it's balancing that energy of the Knight of Fire. Knight of Fire is your inspiration, but there's a little bit of an immaturity to that energy because it's so excitable. It's like a little kid being like, look at me, I did this and I've got this and look at this idea and I drew this picture. You know, they've got so much energy to bring your dreams, your projects, your creations into fruition. That will come from balancing it with a more professional approach, coming at it from a mature energy. In fact, it has to be for people to connect with it. But ultimately, you do want mentorship, guidance. You want to make sure that you have a practical plan so that you can show up and do it so well and they actually build and maintain and grow. I hope that makes sense to you. Please feel free to reach out if you're reading. I'm more than happy to do it. But today, take an opportunity to journal, even if it's just 1 page. But check in with yourself. Ooh. My internet connection. All right, my internet connection isn't so good. Sorry about that. It disconnects sometimes. Want to become? Who do I admire more? And then what is my, oh my goodness, internet, come on. Oh geez. Hopefully it comes back. I don't know. There isn't, but I'm gonna hop off soon. But hopefully you caught those questions, yeah. So take the time to engage with the questions, write them down, journal. If you want to hop on tomorrow and tell me what you have, an absolutely wonderful day. Sending you lots of love.